Hi everyone, Nicolette, your end-of-life doula and coach from the End of Life Care. Today I wanted to just have a chat about the ecological effects that funeral have on our environment. I don't think people are really aware of how polluting funerals can be and how much of an impact they have on our environment. It's not generally talked about. I know we're all trying to be greener and cleaner and care for our environment a lot more. And I think it's an important thing to make people aware of. So I just want to just open it up for you to just think about. So, you know, if you think of your traditional cemetery, you have beautiful lawns that have to be cared for, fertilised, watered, mowed. You have lots of graves in there. So you have concrete with headstones and marble with headstones, so all those beautiful stone resources are used, concrete's put down, roads put down, you know, miles and miles of them. They take up land space. And you have all the artificial flowers on there and, plastics on there. And then if you think about the process, the burial process, you know, you have, in most states, you legally have to have a coffin to bury somebody in. I know they're trying to change that where you can just be buried in a shroud, but that's not happening in many places at the moment. So you have these lacquered, glued, the wood, the resource of all the wood that's going into making these coffins, and then all the glues and the lacquers and all the chemicals that are put on top of them, they're all going into the earth. If people have been embalmed, when they embalm people, they essentially are filling them up with toxic chemicals, and those chemicals are going into our water sources and then into the ground as well to break down and be in the ground. So that's another practice that's not very... And then if you think about cremation, again, I know some people think, oh, well, cremation's a better option, and actually now I think because of the costs, more and more people are being cremated. That seems to be more of a preference for people now. And again, you must be cremated in a coffin. So again, those beautiful wooden resources, but those coffins with all the lacquers and all the glues, all of that, plus your embalmed body, which is full of chemicals, all gets burnt and goes up and goes out into the atmosphere. So there's a whole range of chemicals that are released from cremation. You know, there's mercury, there's heavy pollutants, there's heavy metals being released, plus whatever's in people's bodies. So all of that's going out into the environment. I know now they're trying to put filters on them to make them more safer, but still those pollutants are going out. And then there's the resources used to run a crematorium. You know, they either run on coal or gas, so it takes a lot of energy to get the furnaces to a really hot heat to be able to cremate somebody. So there's those resources that are being used as well. And then even if you think about the flowers that, you know, people buy these commercial flowers and they're just really economically bad. They're grown in greenhouses, they're fed a whole lot of artificial fertilisers, you know, it's not always fair trade, and, you know, the labour that's used to in these places. So there's just layers and layers and layers of not very sound ecological and environmental practices happening within the funeral industry. So there are changes, there are choices now coming about. People are becoming more aware. People are choosing, there's eco-friendly coffins, there's, people are choosing not to be embalmed. People are pushing to be able to just use the shroud to be buried and cremated in. So there are lots of practices coming into play. There's other newer systems of disposing of people's bodies that are meant to be more environmentally friendly that are coming into the fold. So change is happening, which is exciting. But if you're planning a funeral, just consider that. And there's simple things that you can do to make it more environmentally friendly when you're doing a funeral. So I hope that opens you up a little bit and makes you think a little bit more about what you're doing when you are in the process of planning a funeral and what choices you're making, and I hope you choose to be a little bit kinder to the environment. Okay, thank you. I look forward to talking to you again soon.